I'm Louis Skavoris. I'm chair of the UNLV Department of Dance. I wanted to take a moment and tell you about this dance and this repertory project. A bit of context is probably needed because this is a work from 1961, and sometimes our contemporary eyes, they need a little bit of context to look at works from these past historical periods. I also want to thank Katherine Duke, artistic director of the Erick Hawkins Dance Company and the Erick Hawkins Dance Foundation, for making it possible for our university to study this wonderful piece of dance history. Erick Hawkins was a significant choreographer of the 20th century modern dance. Many know him because of his relationship with Martha Graham. Hawkins and Graham met in 1938, and this began a 12-year relationship. He became her first male dancer in her company, her partner, eventually her husband, and her collaborator. In dance research, we are only now discovering the impact and the contribution of Hawkins to the canon of Martha Graham dances. Hawkins left Graham in 1950. And in 1952, he met a young experimental composer, Lucia Dugachevsky. Lucia had an enormous impact on Erick's work and the choreography he would be historically known for. From 1952 to 1957, they experimented with movement and sound, and they created a dance theater that was uniquely their own. Hawkins created a vocabulary of motion about free-flowing motion that originated from a strong central core, and he used the body in a manner that did not harm the human instrument. He was one of the first to create a somatically based movement technique. Dugachevsky experimented with sound and brought the concept of finding the most appropriate timing for each movement and each sound. And Erick Hawkins' work of choreography is unique, for we do not count it in simple 4/4 time, or as dancers say, in eights. Erick created movements that filled a spectrum of numbers. The numbers go all over the place. And he explored every possible number and every possible arrangement of numbers. Erick and Lucia ultimately felt that a dancer counting and performing precise counts to live music created an immediacy and spoke to the absolute now moment. He used the term violent clarity to speak of a kind of movement that was like a diamond. It was precise, intricately cut and shaped, and possessed flawless clarity. Reconstructing excerpts from this 1961 dance, Early Floating, was a repertory project for our most advanced modern dance class. The goal was to, in an embodied way, understand how our current contemporary dance is different from this traditional classic modern dance. This was an opportunity for the students to read about this historic work, to decipher the motion and counts from documents from the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. This is where all of the notes of Erick Hawkins' choreography live, and to perform excerpts in a traditional manner that Hawkins and Dugachevsky wanted. It is important to note that this is perhaps the most abstract of the Hawkins dances. It comes from a period when art was fully exploring abstraction. It does not have a story, only the metaphor of floating. Hawkins and Dugachevsky were strongly connected to the New York School of Abstract Expressionist painters. In the same way that these painters were radically throwing paint on canvas, Erick and Lucia were creating their own canvas of motion and sound. The abstract expressionists loved this choreography and this music, and the New York School of Painters even funded concerts by Dugachevsky. In 1961, America was in the space race to get a man on the moon. Wies Klein created one of the most abstract paintings, Blue Monochrome, which was a painting with only a thick application of a single color, the color blue. Joan Moreau painted his painting blue. Mark Rothko painted orange, red, and yellow. And Robert Motherwell painted Elegy to the Spanish Republic. And in this year, Erick and Lucia created Early Floating. Hawkins wanted the movement to live on its own, without the need for a story, and Lucia's score for the dance is for the timbre piano, meaning she plays the inside of the prepared piano, creating a lush aural landscape of unusual, strange, and beautiful sounds. Now, I've been a longtime member and principal dancer of the Erick Hawkins Dance Company, and I'm considered an archivist of Hawkins' work, creating what the New York Times has called the Hawkins West Institute at UNLV. We are lucky at UNLV to be the repository of the Erick Hawkins collection of masks, costumes, and scenic sculptures. Students in this performance are performing these excerpts in the original 1961 costumes with the original set by sculptor Ralph D'Orazio. In 2003, Mikhail Baryshnikov, one of the most famous dance performers, performed Early Floating with his White Oak Dance Company. Forgive my long introduction, but it's a goal to share and to have others understand the work of significant artists like Erick and Lucy. For our students, it is moments like this where they're able to step into important works of dance history and to understand the work from the inside. On the inside, they're able to feel the heart and the soul of this art. They understand the work not only intellectually, but also viscerally. So for our contemporary eyes, just watch the work and let the movement wash over you without judgment or without wondering, what is it? Or what does it mean? This is a work of abstraction. It just is. And Erick wanted us to appreciate the movement in and of itself and for its own sake. The only thing to know is that this is Early Floating.